a bunch of guests that I'm going to invite on stage. So let's get some music started, and I'm going to call them out one by one. You make as much noise as you can. My first guest, give it up for Dan Fogler! It's so great to have you. We started off our day this morning with, of course, the Harry Potter cast, and now going over to a fantastic beast.
That's so great for Ace over here, man. He's doing a great job.
You guys make me blush. Thank you so much. It's fun to be here on stage and having all of you lovely guests here, and I hope Germany is treating you right. Just before we dive into the audience questions, just really quickly, how is your day going? How's fan interaction going? Alison, let's start with you. How's your day going today?
It's great. I've just had a baby not that long ago, so I have not been anywhere doing anything, so this is a bit of a shock, but it's lovely. It's wonderful, and it's really nice to see our German friends here. I used to spend a lot of time in Germany in my 20s, and I loved it, and I haven't been back in a long time, so it's nice to see you all.
And of course, we get to see you, but you guys get to meet each other again as well, get to reunite. Dan, how's it for you, to reunite with everyone again?
It's really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Last time we were all together was, I guess, the premiere of the third movie. Right?
Yeah, I think
yeah. But I've seen this one more recently, and this one more recently. I haven't seen you in a while. And I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, it's good to be together with everybody. Yeah.
It sort of makes it, really, for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like each other. Yeah, we do.
That's it. And so, Bobby, did you get to visit a Christmas market here in Germany?
Oh, yeah.
You did? Some microphones are not working. I'll just give you this one real quick. Number 5 is not working, guys.
Oh, how about how's this working? Yeah.
Yeah?
Fantastic? Okay, great.
So Christmas market, yeah.
Yeah, I went to a Christmas market with you guys last night. It was cold. It was so cold, but it was beautiful, and we had some hot chips with some curry ketchup. Delicious. Next time we'll have some hot alcoholic something.
Some blue wine.
Yeah.
It's blue wine. It's hot red wine with cinnamon. And basically on the Christmas market you freeze and you drink alcohol and German sausage. That's what you do.
Perfect.
Victoria, what did you enjoy the most?
About last night?
Yeah.
So many things. Mainly the ketchup, the curry ketchup. I've never had curry ketchup, and when Poppy said, oh, let's have curry ketchup on the curly fries, I thought, what? What are you on about? And then I'm sold on the curry ketchup, and I'm going to order some online, or if anyone's here coming back tomorrow wants to drop me by some curry ketchup, it will be most welcome. But I saw there was hot Aperol as well. Is that a thing?
Sorry?
Hot Aperol.
Hot Aperol?
Yes, there was something hot.
Sure, is that the thing?
Yeah, there was like
Oh yeah, I see people nodding like, I've never had it, but yeah.
I know, we were quite, and we went for, I think it was just that cold. I don't think the Aperol was on, I think it was so cold, the cold Aperol was steaming.
That might be it. So, Oliver, for you, this is of course a home game a little bit, of course, Germany. What's it like for you, doing a Comic Con in Germany about Fantastic Beasts?
I never did a Comic Con.
Oh, let's have you use this one.
So this is actually my first Comic Con at all. And I had to cramp my hands signing autographs because I didn't thought so many people would come to get autographs from us. This is amazing. And of course, be part of Fantastic Beasts was a wonderful journey. And it's nice to see you guys back because we didn't see each other for 2 years. And when we shot the movie, we couldn't hang out together because that was the pandemic and we were not supposed to hang out. So I did it only once with Mads Mikkelsen. We only once illegal party with Mads getting drunk. It was we didn't get to jail. That was good. So, but basically we were all separated from each other, and we just saw us when we were shooting, and no drinks together, not one, not even one. Yeah, but it's nice to be here. Hello.
Do you mind if we share a microphone, Oliver? Sorry. Yeah. So we have some audience questions lined up, and we don't have a lot of time for the panel, so I want to make sure they get all of their questions in. So let's put the spotlight on. There we go. Hello, Gryffindor.
Hello. I'm a bit nervous, but my favorite YouTuber, Doug, maybe then you know him because when I'm right, you sent a video. Maybe last year to him. Doug it's a German YouTuber.
Dan sent a video to Danielle, who?
Doug
What?
Never mind, but my question was because he made a video that there might be a Fantastic Beast film 4, and I wanted to ask your opinion of this rumor.
Okay, so if they were to continue the show, would you still be interested in revisiting your character? I think, probably yes.
Yes, absolutely, yes. As far as we knew, there were going to be 5 of these movies. Who knows? Possibly someday. But man, those movies were supposed to be the culmination of the war. So yeah, I would not miss that. I mean, that would be amazing to come back and just see a gigantic wizard war, right? That would be so cool.
I think it's so fantastic that, the first film, of course, was based on that little novel about the Fantastic Beasts, and then 2 and 3 went really dark. I don't think that was planned before, and that it would take that war turn, right? Did you know when you started the first film that was going to be the culmination of going to that war, leading into that war?
Well, kind of, yeah, beforehand, we signed on because, right, we didn't know what the arc was when it was just Fantastic Beasts, the pamphlet, where it was just like a guide to the beasts, But when we were handed that first script, we knew of the iconic battle between Grindelwald and Dumbledore. We knew that, and then we knew that this was the timeline seemed perfect for it to line up with it. And then as the movies progressed, we realized, yeah, this is going to culminate in that big confrontation. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish I knew what you were saying earlier.
Hello.
I probably did make a video.
You made some videos of you, probably. Hello.
Hi, so you're I have a question for all of you. You're an example for a lot of teenagers, and a lot of people look up to you, because I think everybody goes through a Harry Potter phase at least once in their life, and Fantastic Beasts has become like an important part of the Harry Potter world. So my question is, what would you say, or what advice would you give to teenagers who who look up to you? What if you could, like your role, just give them advice, what would you say?
Okay, so yeah, as a role model, what advice would you give young people? Alison, let's start with you. You know, what would be the advice? It's a very deep question, but people who look up to you as either an actor or the character that you play, what would you want them to take from that?
First of all, it's a beautiful question, and thank you, and I think it's a.
Nico's been bad.
That is bad. Nico's. Go where you've been. I have no idea what that said. I was trying to make a joke with something that I don't understand.
Now boarding.
There we go. That's Dan's job. There we go. When I was approached, or when I auditioned for this role, I had a lot of self-confidence issues with auditioning for something and trying to be a part of something so massive and important in so many people's lives, and it really made me wig out. I don't know if that translates. It made me go, whoa! I had a lot of fear come up, and the thing that steadied me and helped me go through the very long auditioning process was that I felt like Queenie, and I can only really speak for my own character, but I felt like Queenie was the kind of role where if it wasn't done carefully, it could basically represent that, like, if you are going to present as a very feminine character, that's the only thing that you are, and I loved her for her empathy and for her kindness and her warmth, and I saw those things in the character, and I wanted to try and kind of make those things the focal point about her. She's got a lovely wardrobe and she's got great hair. It's a wig, it's not mine, so I can say that. I just wanted to show young women and young people that you can be a complicated mix of things. And I think as actors, we're always trying to find the underside of a character, the things that make you human and real. And as a teenager, I think it's just really important to know that, like, you can be all kinds of things. You don't have to be one thing. You don't have to choose a lane and have that be all that you are. You can be things that contradict. You can be complicated. You can be messy. You can make mistakes. You must make mistakes. You must make many mistakes, because thank you for agreeing with that. Because that's what makes you human, and that's what helps you learn. So that was a really lengthy answer, but yeah, you're not alone in looking up to other characters. We all look up to people that we see on screen, so it's an honor to even be considered to be in that category.
That pretty much sums it up. I think if anyone wants to add to that, like what would you want your footprint to be from your role in Fantastic Beasts? But that's a beautiful. Thanks so much.
Bingo!
I'm sorry, Dan, you were going to say something, I think.
I was going to say, to answer that question, that, like, dreams do come true, and, like, do wish on stars. Because you may get a good answer. I wish on a star because I needed some help with my career, And I had my second kid was coming into the world, and I was like, please, Daddy needs a franchise, and I didn't know what the franchise was gonna be, but then like less than 2 months later, I got the audition for this, and I just say like, never give up against all odds. The universe likes an underdog.
Going on from that, when you're being a human, you're going to have so many different challenges, and I think picking up from that it's so important to be resilient. And also, you're all on your own journey. And I definitely think, when you're an actor, you go up for things, you don't get some, you do, and you just have to really be so, work on that feeling of being so solid in who you are, and whatever that means to you, and that you're on your own journey, and that it's all going to work out, and that I think that hope is a really important thing. You have a difficult year, difficult things happen to you, that's life, and that I wished on a star for this job.
You did?
I did, and it was the most weird story, the way that I got this job, the way that it all came about, and I remember at the January, I looked out and I just said, send me something that is so magical, that is such a magical, the word I use, magical part, that I couldn't have imagined it myself, and I couldn't have imagined how it would come to me. And I just looked at, I remember at my window, and it was the end of January, and then I got this call saying, you're coming in for an audition for some series. It was a lie. And I was the only person in the audition. I was that's really weird. And then they did this whole, they said, are you free tomorrow to do a reading? And I was yeah. They said, oh, okay, we'll pick you up at 5:30 in the morning. And then they took me to Network House, which is this crazy castle. And it's a set. And there's costumes, and I went on the makeup truck, and there's Eddie Redmayne, Jude Law, and I was what the is going on? I had no idea. And then David Yeates comes up and goes, just do it how you did in the tape yesterday. I'm what is this? And I leave. And I write to the casting director, I go, maybe I'm helping them audition Jude Law. Maybe that's why I was there. They needed someone to help audition Jude Law. And I wrote and I just said, you know what, a wonderful experience to get to work with Jude Law for a day. And then they called me and offered me a full picture too. I was what? And so that's my story. I mean, honestly, it was so out of left field. And so there you go. You never know what might happen. So keep wishing on stars. I like that.
Anything to add? Should we go to yeah. Awesome. Thank you for your question. Let's see, we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try to squeeze in a few more questions from other people. Hi.
Hi. So I have a question about Fantastic Beasts and also Walking Dead. So I wanted to ask, what do you think your character from Fantastic Beasts would be like in The Walking Dead? And maybe to Dan, did you think Luke is kind of Jacob would be Luke in The Walking Dead, or would he be different?
How would Jacob do in The Walking Dead universe?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was just because Jacob survived World War I, and he's the luckiest guy I think ever. And look who he ended up with, he's the luckiest. So I feel that luck would translate over to The Walking Dead. He'd just be yeah, no problem. I'll just run through the horde, everything. I feel he'd be fine. Well, what was the other part of the question?
Like for the other ones, would they think like their characters would be in The Walking Dead if they have watched it? I don't know.
So let's ask Oliver, like how would Anton do in the Walking Dead universe? He'd be badass, right?
Yeah, he'd be like...
Actually, I haven't seen Walking Dead.
Oh, shit.
Not at all. So I would vote that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Poppy, what about you? You know,
I think she'd probably do very well. I think she'd thrive in that environment. But I wonder, would you be into baking in The Walking Dead? Or is that just exclusive to the Wizarding world?
No, I think he'd still be baking.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes it more fun if it's the apocalypse and there are zombies, but there's a lovely fresh bakery.
There's fresh pies.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The universe making little zombie-shaped cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you
Thanks
so much for answering.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
So I have a question for everyone.
Yes.
This year, HBO announced the new Harry Potter series. So if you could play any character in this series, who you want to play?
Okay, let's, so there of course HBO is it HBO? Is that announced? Okay, cool. So there's a new series coming out about the Harry Potter universe. They're going to revisit all the original books. Would you be interested in joining, and what character, if you, of course, have a favorite that you would like to play, which one would it be? One of the professors, maybe?
I'd like to be Bellatrix. She has a lot of fun. It's fun to be the bad guy. The bad. Yeah. She's the worst. Definitely. Crazy hair. Fun.
I'd like to be Hagrid, so I can do it.
I usually take Hagrid, so I thought I usually try. But I figured like you are rocking the Hagrid
If
look
I could
a
just
little better.
I just love to be tall just once.
Victoria, what about you?
Mrs. Weasley?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good call. That would be a good casting. Very good. I think I'll be about old enough to play McGonagall by then, so maybe I'll try. Professor McGonagall.
And I would go for Snape, I guess.
I think you should just call HBO. We did the casting. We're all set to go. You know, it's. I can see it totally. Thank you so much for your question. Hello.
Hi. Thanks for being here. I love Fantastic Beasts movies. I love the relationship, Queenie and Devil relationship. It's so true. It's so beautiful. So thank you for showing us this type of love. And my question is, what's your favorite character in Fantastic Beasts, and also for them in The Walking Dead, and why?
Your favorite character in the Fantastic Beasts universe?
The Niffler.
Perfect. Any other like favorites that pop up aside from your own characters, of course?
Bunty!
No. I think Queenie. Yeah, I thought Queenie. That was my first choice. She's great. She really is, isn't she? Yeah. And I just love that she's such a good person. Yeah, you portray it so well. And it's I loved how you portrayed, going into the dark side and this struggle. Yeah, it's really interesting. Thank you. I would say Nagini as well. Would be really interesting to see more of her story.
amazing character.
Yeah. And I can understand why this is a difficult question, because all the characters are so well thought out, and they're all so unique in their own ways. It's yeah, absolutely. What's yours?
In Fantastic Beasts, Jack. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a real and a beautiful person, so I love it. And yeah, but in Walking Dead, it's the opposite. It's Negan, so.
Negan. Well, that's an interesting choice to have. That was the second part of our question. Now, who's your favorite character in the Walking Dead universe?
Yeah, I read the comic books, so I really like Michonne, and I loved Abraham, and yeah, I mean Negan, you know, is a fun character. Yeah.
Epic storyline. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
So my question would be, were you Harry Potter fans yourselves growing up, and if so, how do you feel about being a part of the wizarding world now?
I'm sorry, I was getting
mesmerized.
Did you get the question? I didn't get the question. What
Yeah, were we Harry Potter fans, yeah? Were we Harry Potter
Were
fans?
you Harry Potter fans growing up yourselves, and if so, how do you feel about being a part of the wizarding world now?
So were you already familiar and fans of the Harry Potter universe before you joined? And,
Massive, yeah, very big. I read them as a teenager, but into my 20s, and I actually might have even read the last book on tour of Germany, potentially, there. But I read it as an adult still, just like loved it. It's just such an incredible world, and so vivid, and you really get invested in those characters and that universe, and it was a really great place to dive into. It takes you completely away, doesn't it? Doesn't it just take you like? Who didn't want to go to Hogwarts? That was a weirdly phrased question. Who wanted to go to Hogwarts?
Yeah, I was a big fan too. I read the first book and I read it to a little girl and her mother, and we were at the beach, and I started reading, and after a while they fell asleep. And I was going further and read, and then I had to go back again, and they woke up, and then I read it again and again and again, and then came the time when I said, okay, you have to read it for your own, because I have to read it now, because I'm really in the story. And so I became a huge Harry Potter fan. And I read all books, and then I went to the movies, and then the Fantastic Beasts came out, and I saw all you guys there. And I was a fan of that. And then came this audition, and I was reading this line, Wereld van beard. You know, because I didn't know what it was for. That has another name, right? They have a synonym. So, and I just read this line, Wereld van beard, and I said, oh fuck, this might be the Fantastic Beasts. So, it's wonderful to be in that show at the end when you start as a fan. Amazing.
It never feels normal to be a part of it. It never stops being special being on set. And filming in these great big beautiful places, filming in, I didn't get to go to Hogwarts in the last film, I feel like you did. But they used the Great Hall as a green room for a scene that I was filming with you one day, you and Mads, and we were in the Great Hall, and that was where we ate our sandwiches and drank our tea, and that was kind of crazy. It never stops being crazy to be looking around and seeing the whole world of Harry Potter and the Wizarding World of Fantastic Beasts.
And you guys, you keep it alive.
Yeah.
This is amazing. You keep it alive. It's living through you because you're fans.
I mean, and that is really the thing, because I was also a fan of the books. My wife was a fan of the books, and now we have kids of our own, and we started reading it to our daughter. She finished it, and now we started reading to our son, and he loves it. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's great to have and grow up and pass on to so many generations. So thank you for that question. I think she already left. Thank you so much. And we have another question lined up. Hi.
Yeah, I wanted to know, it's a question for all of you, so I wanted to know if you could choose any magical creature from the Fantastic Beasts universe to be your magical companion in life, which one would it be?
Well, I think we know Oliver's already. Any other companion any of you would like to have?
Did you say the chillin'?
The Niffler!
He should have said the chillin'. Can he say his line?
They were laughing so much about me because I had to hold this speech about the chillin', and I had to say the line, "This is the true chillin'." I think I said this line for 1 month, and I said it each day. I said it about 100,000 times, and I couldn't say it anymore because they were laughing. The moment I started with the line, they were laughing, everybody. I was really, this is the true chillin'. Yeah, I will dream of this line. I'll never lose this line in my whole life. When I stop dying, I will still remind this line. This is the true chillin'.
Yeah, back there.
I would say Pickett.
Pickett, yeah.
Pickett. Someone loves Pickett as well. Yay! He's very funny. He's a bit sensitive. You have to really make sure you don't, hurt his
He's
feelings.
practical.
But he's very practical. He's very clever. I need somebody clever around doing all the clever things because I forget things. I lose my phone 100 times a day. It's crazy.
Pickett would just
Pickett
like...
just would be like, here you go.
Which one is your favorite?
Obviously the Niffler.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes. So, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Niffler gets in so much trouble though, yeah.
Exactly. He's not the best companion to have. Hello.
Hi. My question is, what job would you do if you weren't an actor?
Alright, what job would you do? What profession would you do if you weren't an actor?
There's just one line to this. Never stop believing. Never stop believing. Believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it, and then you believe it. And at the end, it happens. So there is no job, there is no plan B. I always wanted to be that, and so I did it because I kept believing in it. And I grew up in an Italian restaurant, and I was a dishwasher and a waiter, and my father had this restaurant business. And I was cooking all the time, but I wanted to get out there and be an actor, and nobody trusted in me. Nobody thought that would happen. It was only me believing it. It was only me creating my own reality. So never stop believing.
Top that answer. So, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I ask another question?
Sorry?
Can I ask another question?
Go ahead.
What did you... Wait, sorry. What did you make your decision to be an actor? Like, what did you think?
Oh, okay. What made you decide to be
what
an
made you,
actor?
sorry.
Or what was the moment that you decided, like, this is what I want to pursue? Victoria, maybe you first?
Yeah, so I was going to be a ballet dancer. So that was my thing. And I just sort of did acting for fun. And I did something called National Youth Music Theatre, where you audition and they form a company, like an international company that you go on tour. And yeah, so I started doing that, and then loads of directors were like, you should do this as your job. And I was like, really? So I love being a ballet dancer was my main thing, like that's so sensible. And so yeah, so there was directors that said you should do this. And then that's when I kind of thought, okay. And, I went to a really academic school. There was no support when I said I wanted to be an actor when I was like 16, 17. They sort of laughed at me and said, right, yeah, so you're going to go and do something proper at university. And I got my A-levels when I was 18 and I borrowed £100 from my friend and I got coach to London with a backpack. And I found somewhere to live. I went and got a job that day in a pub in a really rough part of London. And I decided to work to try and save up the money to audition to get into drama school, and I got into RADA. And I managed to give my friend back £98.50. Didn't have the extra couple of pounds, but she gave it to me in a book. She said to me, here's £100, like, go and buy a bus ticket and go and try it out. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah. I think I lived in like some crazy places because I didn't have any money, but you know, it was, anyway, I got into RADA, there we go.
Do you remember when the moment came that you decided, like, this is the career that I want to pursue, become an actor?
It was a very long, strange journey for me. I did lots of different things. I actually went to university and studied journalism. Then I graduated and I joined a band and I played music and really wanted to pursue that and tried all sorts of different things, and I had this sort of animalistic instinct that I could articulate in words that then ended up manifesting itself in strange dreams and nightmares, which sounds crazy, and it kind of was, but it was just it was a deep desire that I think I'd suppressed for a really long time, and I was finally able to articulate it, and I had a job at the time at the magazine, and I quit my job with absolutely no backup plan whatsoever, no savings, living in London, which is not easy, and I found a part-time job, and then went about trying to find an agent, and through some kind of long convoluted route, ended up auditioning and then working. But it was like Oliver says, there was no plan B. And I think it took me, later I started this when I was older, like 26, turning 27. And it put the pressure on to really go for it. And once I allowed myself to do it, without telling anyone, because I didn't want to freak out my mom, mostly, it was on, and I just, yeah. No plan B is it's terrifying, but sometimes it just makes you go where you need to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Of course, all of you were just talking about, just keep on believing, and if you really want something, you have to go for it. Was there a particular moment for you that you knew, like, in your whole body, I have to become an actor? What was that moment?
I think for me there was a deficit of not being seen the way you want to be seen. And I was a very creative boy, and grew up in a time where creativity was not, the big thing. My father was an Italian immigrant, so people treated me when I was a little boy not so nicely, and they always said, "Hey, you have to go back to Italy." I've never been in Italy. That was a bit ridiculous, and even my parents, they didn't see my creativity. So at the end, I think I wanted to be seen, and that's why I became an actor. There was a deficit, which makes you stand on the stage and be watched by other people, and then comes a time in your life when people applaud and you get your recognition, and then you think about it, okay, but my problems are the same before the applause than after the applause. Nothing changed really, so I'm the same person. And then you stand on the stage And then comes the time when you start thinking about, why am I standing on stage? And if you ask yourself that question, then it might become more arty. Then you start to make art, because then you ask yourself the question, it's not only to be seen, it's for what am I going to be seen? For what do I want the people to see? For what do I stand for? Which projects do I choose, and what do I not do? So, of course you can only choose between the offers you have. So we can't choose anything we don't have, but you can refuse things you really don't want to do. And you never get there where you want to be by doing things you don't want to be, or you don't want to do. So keep on believing. Still the line for the day. Keep on believing.
It's beautiful advice to, have a purpose and keep doing that. Dan, what was it like for you? When did you decide, I want to do acting? This is the career for me.
Right now, with you guys here. No, when did I decide? I was in high school, and I really enjoyed doing the plays and the musicals in high school, and all of my grades kind of leaned toward the artistic side of things, and it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, where am I going to go to college? And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to go all in and go to an acting college and see how far I can get here, because it just seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like the only thing I could do.
And Alison, what was it like for you?
Similar to Poppy, actually, I was a bit on the older side. I had just finished releasing my third album as a musician. I had a band called Fine Frenzy in my early 20s, and music was my first love, my deep love, but it was also, the music industry was really difficult, and I just needed to take a break, and I needed to stop mining into my own stories, because I started to feel like I didn't have any stories left. And I don't remember what movie it was. It was sort of a combination of movies that I was watching at the time. I loved, like, Eternal Sunshine, The Spotless Mind, and Harold and Maude. I don't know who I was modeling myself after, but I'm pretty sure it was Maude. I was watching a ton of films and being very antisocial, and suddenly I was like, both my parents were actors, by the way, and I was like, that's the worst life you could ever have. I'm never going to do that. Because it's just a really difficult thing to, the fact that we're sitting on the stage is a very big rarity. We're all aware of it. Like, it's not an easy career, and it's something that a lot of people do. So if you want to do, so if you get a role, it's a big, massive deal. And I knew a lot of people that were really, like, broken by it when I was growing up. So, but I just thought, I'm just gonna try to take some acting classes and just try, because I don't know why I took a break off one thing that was breaking my heart, going to another totally bananas, crazy industry. But that's the kind of people I think we all are. I did one audition. I was in an acting class. It was very helpful emotionally. It was like therapy. I don't know if I actually did any acting, but I did a lot of crying. And then I did one audition. I was so bad that I was like, well, I'm never gonna do that again. Just a tip: never bring a hot McDonald's apple pie into an audition and try to eat it during a scene. It's a bad idea.
That's great advice.
Yeah. The whole thing fell out, and I couldn't make a joke out of it. I just died there. But the second audition that I had, I got. I think it was the second one. Yeah, it was a TV show called Transparent, and it was just this, like, really beautiful show, and really amazing group of people, and the conversation that it started. If you haven't seen it, it's a really, not 5 minutes, I'm only in it for like a second,
it's a great show. And that started a lot of really important conversations. And then I just kind of kept going, but I still don't think I'm a real actress. I still think I'm a musician, and I just like landed this crazy thing. I landed Queenie, and I got very lucky, but yeah. I still don't, one day I might be an actress.
Thank you so much. We're already in overtime, but we have one more question lined up, so I really want to get that one in. Hi. Oh, it was your question, sorry. Thank you so much. So that was a great question because we got so much insight, and I could listen to you all day, but unfortunately, like, we're running 10 minutes late already. So thank you so much for being here. We have to say goodbye to you after tonight. I think you're only here on Saturday, so we're really sad not to have you here tomorrow. But we have another panel with the 4 of you tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you all so much for being here. Oliver, thanks so much for being here. Give it up for the cast of Fantastic Beasts. One final request. We have our beautiful photographer Sarah here, so if you can all, but very carefully, get up. We'll take a selfie with the cast and post it on our social channels so you can tag yourself and us. And we'll go 3, 2, 1, make some noise, and then we'll have a blast. All right. Oh, down, yes. Everybody ready? Sarah ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Cool, staan we samen op. We moeten toch gewoon samen.